It's May 2025, and I'm visiting Potholes Coulee. About 15,000 years ago, Ice Age floods created two large canyons here. In this view, I hope you can get some sense of the size of the canyon floor and the surrounding cliffs. It's spring here in the high desert, and the landscape is decorated with colorful flowers. There are many trails, so that you can explore this area on foot or on a bicycle. I found a bike to be a good way to visit the coulee. The area is also quite popular for horseback riding. The appearance of the coulee changes dramatically as light changes during the day. As you can see from this Google Earth satellite view, much of the area around the coulee is green, presumably agricultural land. Although this area doesn't receive much rain, irrigation with water from the Columbia River supports farming, including tree crops and vineyards. I camped at the Bishop Recreation Area, which is on the north side of the coulee. To get to the Bishop Rec area, I first drove north from George towards Quincy, Washington, then west towards the Columbia River, and finally south on Ancient Lake Road. I'm driving on Ancient Lake Road on a plateau about 1,000 feet above the Columbia River. Much of the land on this plateau appears to be an arid desert. On the right is a road that enters the Bishop Recreation Area. I didn't see any signs on Ancient Lake Road marking the entrance, but Google Maps does show the roads in the rec area. The Bishop Recreation Area is operated by the Port of Quincy and has no designated campsites and offers no camping amenities. One nice feature is that it is close to the Columbia River and Potholes Coulee. As you can see on the left here, there are horse corrals if you're visiting the area to go horseback riding. I camped at the end of this loop, adjacent to the horse corrals. An aerial view of my campsite. Just ahead of my van and a little past the road, you can see a trail that goes off to the right. As the drone continues to rise and move west, the Columbia River becomes visible. Most of the trails in this area do not have any identifying signs. When visiting here, it's helpful to have some kind of GPS-enabled trail guide. With Gaia GPS, I could see that the trail that started near my campsite appeared to lead to a Columbia River viewpoint. So I set off on foot to see what the trail looked like and where it went. A little detour here to look at the yellow flowers. The flowering plants are arrowleaf balsam root, very common in dry areas of Oregon and Washington. Back on the trail, which has turned towards the west and begun to descend a little bit. Here the trail climbs a bit of a ridge. When you reach the top of the ridge, there's a nice view of the Columbia River. In the evening, there was a bit of color in the western sky at sunset. Not one of those really dramatic sunsets, but still a nice end to the day. In the morning, I got on my bike to ride to the Ancient Lakes trailhead. If you're wondering about the stakes connecting a white rope on the right side of the screen, it's an electric fence serving as a temporary horse corral. A group of people with several horse trailers and, of course, several horses moved into the corral area. They needed more corral space than was provided at the site, so the electric fences provided more space for the horses. Here, I'm riding south on the Ancient Lakes Trail, headed towards the open west end of the canyon. A different variety of yellow, daisy-like flower adds its beauty to the landscape. Here, I'm taking the left fork of the trail. This part of the trail heads east down the middle of the canyon, providing a good view of both the north and south sides of the canyon. A view of the south side of the canyon. Ahead on the left, you can see a small waterfall with the water really sparkling in the sun. It is really a rather small waterfall, but the sunlight is making it stand out. Another view of the waterfall. You can see that it is rather small. I'm now near the closed end of the canyon. Ahead, on the right, is a small lake. There are several other lakes at the end of the canyon. The largest, Ancient Lake, is on the opposite side, the north side of the canyon. Ahead is Ancient Lake. It is tucked into the northeast corner of the canyon. I should mention that Potholes Coulee contains another entire canyon that is south of the canyon I just visited. That's an opportunity for another visit. I hope you enjoyed this video visit to Potholes Coulee. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.